at you. A pimp was watching some YouTube last night, watching one of my favorite channels, Reggie Collects, talking about new comic book day and some controversy. A pimp named Slaughter loves some controversy, and we got some controversy today for you because jealousy reared its ugly head here today on Reggie Collects. Here, check it out.
I've never actually said anything stupid. Don't ask my wife, brother. Let's talk about that S curl wig that you had on, where you were calling all the pimps and the players to support C3. Let's talk about that. You may not have said anything stupid, sir, but we got to talk about that wig. Scrolling through some of the comments here. See, let me. Wait, brother, you saw that wig. You saw that wig the same way that I saw that wig, and I watched it. I watched it a couple of times because it was hilarious.
You hate to see your comic book players and playettes. This man with his shiny bald head can't stand to see a pimp with some beautiful locks. Let him know. This type of hating can't be accepted in the comic book community.
All right, Carter, you got 2587.
Not for long. I make bad financial decisions.
Are you doing okay today?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Okay.
It's not a good look. Women don't respect it. Kind of makes me look like a bitch. I like it.
And, you know, I'll be looking at asses and shit, and I seen little yoga pants coming out the nail salon. So I peeped the ass out, and I was like, damn, she thick as fuck. Turn around, TT. I was like, damn, nigga, what you doing out here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, hella ass. The sun is still out, my nigga, and it was just, I mean, that's the whole.
Haters gonna hate.
Butts.
What up? What up? What up? It is Tuesday once again, and we are back for another FOC and chill. We will see what is in store for us tonight. What homies are going to jump on? What do they want to talk about? As always, I am excited to see the poll is up. Have you liked the stream yet? Or are you a hater? Vote in the poll. Let me know. So far, we got 100% people liking the stream. I appreciate that. While we wait and see who jumps on, though, let's get into the chat here. We had the homie Las Cruces in early this morning. I appreciate you so much, Las Cruces, as always. Every single comment helps, so I appreciate that so much. We got GT Key Comic in early as well at 10 a.m. this morning. What up, my man? The homie Kevin was here early. Entropy and Comics. Check him out on the YouTubes. Darth Lopez, my Discord brother. Shout out to him. Great game with the Bills. I know it's a tough loss for the Bills, but you guys deserve to win that game as much as we did. You guys played lights out, and it was either us or you probably winning the Super Bowl, I think. We'll see, though. Fingers crossed. But great, hell of a game Sunday night, man. I had my butt clenched the entire game for sure. We got the homie Kyle. He's still got the journos catch me in traffic jokes going for him. My Discord brother Sickatron was in here as well. He's, of course, trying to get the comic book talk going early and often. He's always interested in that. We'll see how it goes for him tonight. I promise nothing at all, but he is excited about some books that are on FOC this week. We also got the homie Thomas Nickel, a.k.a. TN Comedy, in the house. Check him out on YouTube. He's doing some comic book stuff as well as check him out on Instagram. That's one of the Wednesday night homies. And speaking of Wednesday night homies, over with Indie Comics and Reviews, my comic book dad, Lorenzo, we're shooting it every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. My flavored whiskey brother, 80s guy, is here tonight as well. What up, 80s guy? I appreciate you coming through. Looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow night, where we'll be all comics all the time. We got the homie, the best mod in the business, Christina Payne, pulling double duty tonight. She's over there working for Paul's Amazing Friends, Paul and the 619, who're still going live. Check them out. Those are the homies right there. And she's here doing work for us as well. So I appreciate you double dipping there. Couching and slouching, C Bizzle. What up, C Bizzle? Good to see you, my man. I haven't got enough of you in my life. I'm gonna have to fix that. Go see what you got going on your channel, man. I haven't been as plugged into comic book YouTube as I usually am. Discord is probably to blame. I spend so much time in Discord. It's crazy. Yes, definitely appreciate everybody coming through. Thank you so much for hitting up that like button. My brother, my abusive boyfriend, Beckerman, he abuses me, but then he also is so sweet to me. I don't know what to think. It's up, it's down. I was thinking about it as like he's like an abusive boyfriend, you know. He's sweet. He says all sweet nothings to you, and then he abuses you, and then he says sorry, and he's sweet to you again. But love you, Beckerman. Good to see you. We'll be talking about you here shortly. We got Fatty Boom Batty, John Stout in the house as well. What up, my man? Thank you so much for coming through. Oh, we got a Caroline sighting. What up, Lady Fantastic? Always good to see you. I've been missing you too. I feel like I haven't been getting enough of you in my life as well. So good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Butts, always with the butts. You know I love those butts. Link is in the chat. We got that thing pinned. We'll see if anybody wants to jump in tonight or if we're going to get to the FOC. It's been a while since we got to FOC, so looking forward to seeing that. My man Phil's Treehouse is in the house. What up, Phil? I miss your face, man. We don't get enough of you on YouTube these days either, but I do appreciate you coming through and saying what up. And my Kansas City brother, Keon, a.k.a. Swagda, is in the house. Check him out on the Instagram, or not on Instagram because he refuses to join Instagram. I mean on YouTube. Check him out on YouTube. He's doing big things over there on his channel, a newer channel that's coming on the come up. So definitely get over there and plug in and get subbed to my man. And go Lions. There's always next year, right? But speaking of Swagda, we got together this weekend. We went and got a little lunch because the homie, the comic vet, drove all the way down to Kansas City from Canada to watch the Bills play. Him and Beckerman went to the game and watched an all-time classic game. I mean, it was a banger from start to finish. Both quarterbacks played lights out. Nobody can blame Josh Allen for that loss. You can't even really blame anybody for that loss. It was just a tough game and somebody had to win, and it really could have gone either way. And we were lucky to pull that one out, but got to hang out with Chris, the comic vet, the homie, as well as Beckerman, Bobby De La Ghetto, and Swagda there in the middle. Had a great time hanging out with them for a little bit before I had to go back and watch my kids. But always a good time. And Beckerman, as I was saying, he abuses me, but then he's also really nice to me. And he came bearing gifts for me that I wanted to show off. Anytime he gets something is killing the children stuff from any box or anything like that, he is not a fan of it, calls it trash. And so he shoots it right over to me. And so as a result of that, I got yet another cover for Something is Killing the Children 16. There's an insane number of covers for this issue of the book, and this is my 10th different cover for this issue. And this is a really nice one. And on top of that, it is slabbed 9.8. So shout out to the homie for hooking it up, man. And we got our first guest of the night, Lady Fantastic. What's up, Caroline? Thank you so much for joining. I'm showing off some books that Beckerman gave me here this weekend as we went to lunch. And that's a banger right there, isn't it? So
he's so good to you.
He's good and bad to me.
He like verbally slaps you and then he wants you and dines you.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, but it's worth it. I'll take
mixed signals sometimes. The guy doesn't know what to do, you know?
Yeah, poor Jill, huh?
Jill. Yeah, well, he's a saint.
And a devil.
And
but this
book
is so very cool. Very happy to add it to my collection. So thank you for that. He also came with a couple of more books, actually. He came there with another Something is Killing the Children. This is issue number 34, the silver foil. So we got the nice cover for that. Happy to add that in though. And he said it in the chat earlier. Who was it? Said Butts. C Bizzle said it earlier, Butts. And my man came through with the Butts cover. Look at that ass. That man got an ass right there. Damn, what you doing double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon?
Beckerman got you that?
Yeah, he gave me this one as well.
He knows you like your butts.
I'm collecting this Nightwing series, so and I love Dick, so excited to add this one to the collection as well. Shout out to the homie Beckerman. I appreciate you. And here's the thing, Comic Vet also came bearing gifts. And I'm gonna open these things on the stream here, but before I do that, we got a couple more people sneaking in here, I think.
Oh, hell's bells.
Or maybe one more. We got another one of the Wednesday night homies, Mojo 88. What up, my man? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you so much. And my Discord brother Perry is in the house. I'm representing him as well. What do you mean representing his gear tonight? I miss you today, Perry. You weren't in Discord all day, brother. We were lost without you, but good to see you tonight. And then my brother from across the pond, Dr. Von Hoot, I appreciate you so much for coming through as always, DVH, my brother. What up to you? And another one of the Discord homies, Aggressively Relaxing, is in here. New Comic Book Day Eve, also known as Christmas Eve to me, because we get Christmas every week. That's one of the beauties of being a comic book collector. But Chris, the Comic Vet, came bearing gifts. He gave us all, as he's known for, a bunch of Walmart packs. And I'm going to open these things here today on this show. So I don't know what's going to be in here. We'll see what we got. Obviously, the front one is Task Force Z, which with a nice looking cover. But let's see what else. Apparently, there's a chance that I could get the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book in one of these packs, which would be super dope. Because that's like, what, a $20 book now, I think? Do you know, Caroline, how much that one is?
I'm not even listening to the words you're saying. I'm talking to Perry.
Right.
No, say it. Nope.
Fair enough.
No clue.
Fair enough.
Value.
But we got Task Force Z #1 in the house. We've got 0 Point. Is this one? Okay, yeah, that's the Fortnite book.
Yeah, the 40.
We got a Fortnite book in there. I don't think anybody cares about those anymore, do they? We got Swamp Thing #4. That is nice. Yeah, that's a nice cover. Who's the artist? I'll have to look and see who the artist on that one is. Dark Knights of Steel #2. I collected this whole series, so this is a great series. I really enjoy this one.
Is this from a Comic Vet, you said?
Yeah, these are all from the Comic Vet. Yeah, he brought us Walmart packs. So he got the hookup from one of his homies. He got a bunch of them. Like he said, it took him 4 car trips to pull all of the pallets of these things. So he's got a ton of these that he's been giving away.
Seriously, pallets?
Yes, pallets. I highly recommend Dark Knights of Steel. This was a great book from Tom Taylor. I really enjoyed it. It's an Elseworlds book, and it's a lot of fun. And then they're doing a new book right now, Dark Knights of Steel All Winter, which many are saying, including myself, could be better than the first series. So
who's writing that?
Tom Taylor.
Oh, sorry. You said that for the first one. Sorry, he's doing the second one. He's
writing both of them.
Cool.
So we got another one here. We got Superman 78 is the front book cover here. I'm hoping that we get a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow in here. That would be dope. Let's see though. Okay, get that out of the way. Superman 78 #1. I'll have to check that one out. Generation Shattered #1. I'm not familiar with this one, but this is that's a fat book right there. That one's nice. Man Bat vs. Suicide Squad #2.
It's a gnarly
Very
cover.
nice. Very nice. And we got another Dark Knights of Steel #2.
A dupe.
I'll take that. Indeed. What else? So we got yet another pack. This one, Superman and Robin, is the front book. And we'll see what else we got in here. All right. Superman and Robin, number 1.
Okay.
The first book. We also got Batman Detective Comics, the annual Arkham Rises. Oh, we got my homie Dick on the front. You know I love me some Dick.
Mm-hmm.
We got Batman 94. That's a nice cover.
Punchline.
With Punchline. Shout out to the homie Real Rude. Huge Punchline fan.
Okay.
And we got Batman the Long Halloween special with Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I like that. That is dope. I'm going to actually look forward to reading that one. And then one more, last but not least, we got, what is that? Batman Killing Time, number 1 with the movie variant. What a boring movie. I know some people like that movie, but I thought the Batman was too long and too boring. I was so
Did you
excited.
watch the Penguin?
No, I don't have HBO because I have HBO through my mother-in-law, but they've cracked down on password sharing. So I've got to go to Columbia, Missouri, hook up to her Wi-Fi, and sign back in so I could get that back. And then once I get a chance to do that, I'm definitely going to watch that first thing. But that's a nice movie cover right there. We got World of Krypton, number 1 of 6. That's a cool looking cover. We've got Batgirl 49. That's another nice cover. And last but not least, Flash 758. So that is a ton of books that the vet hooked me up. Look at that stack of books. My man drove all the way down here to watch his Bills lose and give me a bunch of comic books. So what a nice guy, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to the comic vet. I'm sorry your team couldn't win, but I'm also glad your team couldn't win because my team won instead. And we're going to our 3rd straight Super Bowl, which I'm so very excited about it. Let's get back to the chat here. We've got another one of the Discord homies, Benny Compton, is in the house. I miss you today, Ben. I didn't get any of my Ben time. You know I got to get that every day.
Are they playing the Jets? Who are they playing against?
The Jets. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Our second rematch. Second rematch in a row. We rematched with the Niners last year. This year we're rematching with the Eagles. And
I don't know.
God, I hope we win. The stupid Fortnite codes in those books expired. Great job, marketing team. Oh, so they're worthless. Awesome. They're completely worthless now. Very cool. Oh, we got Flo in the house. Nightwing Stand. If you are not subscribed to his new channel, Nightwing Stand, definitely get over there. Get subbed up. Check my man out. What up, my dude? Thank you so much for coming through, Flo. I appreciate you. And Joshua Williamson's Flash is awesome. It appears out as well as Batman. So very cool. Rip to the Bills, definitely. Great team. Josh Allen's going to win a Super Bowl. I think that's inevitable. You probably could use a few more pieces around him, but great team, great game. I got nothing bad to say.
This may seem ignorant of me as well, but I'm going to assume that Mahomes was the QB for the last 3 years.
Yes, you're damn right he was. Go Chiefs. Of course he was. Everybody is mad. Oh, the refs. Oh, I'm so tired of Mahomes. Oh, we got Taylor Swift again. Oh, it's rigged. And I'm drinking all of your tears and getting drunk as fuck off of it. Keep crying because I love it. Look, I've been a fan when people were going to the games with paper bags on their heads. And we were losing every single game by 1 score, and it was terrible. And we had terrible quarterbacks like Brock Heward and Tyler Thigpen. We went through a lot to get here. So understand that I don't feel bad.
You suffered. You suffered enough.
We suffered for this. I don't feel
bad
for anyone whatsoever. And we got Siren in the house as well. So we might as well go ahead and shout out the Kickstarter from the homies Comic Journey. Siren's one of the artists. Tate Prime is an artist on it. And then there's a tattoo artist, Ben, who I'm not familiar with, who is also an artist. But they have a Kickstarter that has already got the project we love. What is it? The banner from Kickstarter, which is really, really cool. So they're off to a great start, already at $2,200 when their goal was just $1,500. As you see, I'm already a backer and very excited to get my copy of it. It's a very cool concept that they've got going, where Brandon from Dismay Comics, whose Kickstarters I've backed all of, I really enjoyed Brandon's stuff. He has written the book, and then he gave the book to 3 artists, or is it 4 artists? 4 artists with no direction whatsoever. And they just came out and did their own vision and visually in terms of the art as to what the story should look like. And so it's kind of like a variant storybook, where instead of variant covers, you're getting variant art on the inside, which is a really interesting concept. And it's also a great way to give multiple artists a chance to get their stuff out there, get published. So I'm super excited to back this one. Link is in the chat for that, guys. They have hit their goal, but the more money, the better, the more that they can do with it. So if you're interested in all, I could not recommend getting over there enough, and definitely plugging in and joining in with this great project that they're going. Like I said, they got the project we love from Kickstarter, which was super duper cool. And I'm excited to get that one in my hand. So 22 days left. So if you don't have money now, you got time to get your money right, so you can get in there and back that one. I wanted to get all of the covers, and I also wanted to get the variant. Like, you could have one of the artists do you a sketch, and that was a $50 level, but I couldn't do both, which sucked because I really wanted to do both. So maybe if they change that, I can repledge and get both of them. But a very cool project that I'm proud to support and back and promote to you guys. So check it out if you got any chance. If you're interested in all, if you want to see indie comics, you got to support indie comics. And that's my spiel so far. What's going on with you, Caroline? I haven't seen much of you lately. You been busy?
God, I've been busy, and I don't know. I've just kind of been not really online a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you gracing me with your presence today. We were actually hanging out in the Legion Discord. We hang out in Discord pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And lately we've been rotating Discords. We hang out in Perry's Discord for a while. We hang out on one day, and then we hang out in my Discord on another day, at Jig's Kingdom's Discord. And we actually hung out in the Legion of Comics Discord today. But we got nobody to join us in there, which was a bummer. But
sorry,
we're gonna keep rotating Discords, and maybe next time we'll get somebody in there. But we really enjoy that. I know Lady and I have watched a movie together in there.
Yeah. Lost Boys. Or isn't that it? The Lost Boys? Wasn't that the name? Or is it what's the one about that's exactly what we watched.
Yeah, The Lost Boys with the Coreys. Yeah. Great movie. And the saxophone dude in the purple spandex.
Yeah, and Diane Weist. I've picked up some books I can share lately, but it's just kind of a random smattering, some older, some new, whatever. But
check it out.
Honestly, I've just been working so much in January. Like, it's like the second half of the year for us, and like academia, our fiscal year begins July 1 and then ends June 30th. So like, this is like the middle of the year. And so it's just like, it's a lot of bullshit. And plus, you got all this awesome executive order.
I was going to ask you if that has affected you at all.
It does. Now, from a day-to-day right now, no. Would it? Yes. Is it constitutional? No. So I'm not super worried about it.
Well, I saw a judge put a freeze on it today. So.
Yeah. If the worst comes to worst, it's gonna be a showdown between Trump versus Congress, and the Supreme Court is going to be the decider. And while we know that the Supreme Court is stacked to be more Trump favoring,
and so is Congress.
There's an asterisk in there. Because those mother lovers are married to the Constitution. They love them some Constitution. And here's the thing. In the Constitution, it says Congress shall be the one to allocate federal dollars. They hold the purse. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Other than that, but like, let me show some books. I don't want to talk about this shit.
Yeah, let's not get too deep into that. I don't have opinions about anything anymore, so
I don't have
we'll
feelings anymore. I'm just numb. So
well, I am Jack's extreme cynicism, so
yeah,
nothing matters anymore. But what you got?
Not to be political.
Now right back into the politics here. Jeez, here we go
That was
again.
maybe a little bit
Obama on the
intentional. That was a little intentional.
That's a cool cover though.
Picked up a second print of Squirrel Girl #1.
Oh, I've been playing her in Marvel Rivals. She's one of the people. I either play Cloak and Dagger or I play Squirrel Girl.
Dude,
have you been playing? Have you checked that out at all? Marvel Rivals?
I've downloaded it and I've looked through it, but I haven't played it yet, and I'm getting derided for it. You know,
well, you should get on there. Let me know. Are you on? You're on PC or are you on console?
I'm on Xbox.
Okay, yeah, so we can play ranked together if you ever do. Add me. Circumstances, no space. That's the same name for me everywhere. I kind of want that one. That's nice. That's very nice.
This is a Pulp Fiction. Have you not seen this before?
No, I've seen it before. Yeah, I love the Pulp Fiction homage covers.
Yeah, so
they're nice.
I think there's an Animaniacs one that's fairly popular, but I really wanted the Hulk one. So,
I'm gonna say thumbs down to that, Phil. I got 2 kids, buddy. I want to give them a chance here.
Phil, we are
crossed.
the stewards of the earth. Think like an ant. Would an ant drop a nuke? No.
As Brian Cox says, we may be the only rock with any meaning in a vast, empty universe. So we have got to take care of this.
That's really reinforcing. I hope you guys have a great night of sleep tonight. This is a Greg Land variant of Mighty Avengers #10, and it's got that fun, funky 70s feel to it. Here's Nixon. Not going to be political anymore. Yeah, but I love this 70s take on Blade, man. He's just like out there being cool. I love it. So
I thought it was a DC book. Okay.
No, man, Mighty Avengers, bro.
Okay, Avengers. Yeah, I guess it says Marvel reboot. It looked, for some reason, it looked like a DC book just glancing at it. But
what are you trying to say?
Nothing at all. I didn't mean that disrespectfully. Shout out to the homie Mark, Legion of Comics. I would never hate on DC.
Here's DC. Some Batman Returns.
Very nice.
Yeah. I love Catwoman. And Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman specifically. This was my movie. So
Eartha Kitt for me.
It's what now?
Eartha Kitt.
Yeah,
is
she's the best. But like in terms of if there's a Batman movie, she was my favorite playing Catwoman. Now Eartha Kitt was the best Catwoman in the Adam. Like in any Batman show, Eartha Kitt is Catwoman, you know. But I loved Michelle Pfeiffer's portrayal, and they definitely had chemistry. I got this. I'm goofy, and I picked it up at the McKay's. It's a Harley Quinn, but it's a homage to the Crisis on Infinite Earths. But this is a collection of Harley covers inside, so you can see sort of like it's like a little cover files.
Very cool. I'm a sucker for an homage, so love it.
Yeah. I got some George Perez combined with somebody else. I can't by Ryan Sook. Yeah.
I like him. He did a great cover for 2 Moons that I really love. So yeah, I like his style.
Got this Eat the Rich Jenny Frison variant.
I've got that one. Did you read that book?
I haven't. I just recently picked this up. This is like the last time I went to the LCS. I grabbed this, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't what
it
wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Okay.
Really.
Well, what did you want? Did you want Eating the Rich?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I wanted actually. I should read it again because it's been a long time since I read that book.
And then I got this in a package from my buddy, That Old Comic Smell, but not to get political.
There we go. Not to get political.
It's just I collect different comics with different, contemporary figures. Speaking of which, that's one I've had for a minute.
TaTa with Travis on the front. Love
There's
it.
your girl.
Who else is on
Not
there?
sure. Really?
Like, obviously that's Kelsey.
I
With
don't.
no,
That's
weirdly with no
Kelsey. Yeah,
facial
but I don't know who
expression.
the other chicks are. Really.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
Mm.
Very cool though. Another
Yeah.
homage, obviously, to Dazzler #1.
And then I found this a while ago. I thought it was really cool. Is this Cheryl Blossom special? And she says, "Dear Santa, remember not to forget us bad girls too." Cheryl.
Perfect for you. Perfect cover for you. Hell yeah. Archie
So yeah,
Comics.
there's this, yeah. And I've had this, but I just kind of showing it again. Whatever. First print of Eclipse's The Hobbit. It's a 3-book series, and I'm a Tolkien fan. I sure am. And
You
so
are. Can
I got this.
confirm.
Yeah, I do like my Tolkien. And then these two I got like at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, and it's from my else. It's 2 X-Men by Neil Adams, both signed by Neil Adams. So first we'll do. There's the signature. X-Men 57. Fucking sickness. Okay.
Chiefs.
X-Men
Man,
62. Kazar.
it
Boom.
looks for such an old book too. They look pretty nice. I don't know. Are they in Mylar making them look good? They look real
Mylar
nice.
makes them pop, but they're both in mid. They're both in mid condition.
Very nice. 12 center and a 15 center, both signed by Neil. I am
Yeah.
jealous of that.
Yeah. I found these both at my LCS. Apparently the same dude had. Yeah. So yeah, I like Tolkien. I like Tolkien while watching Tolkien.
Yeah,
So,
John. She's with you on both counts, John.
yeah. And yeah, that's about it. I'll show for now. So I'm just kind of a mishmash of comic fodder.
Always some bangers. It looks like your new spot's coming together there. I see you got some wall art going there.
Yeah.
Are those actual books in there, or are they just prints?
No, these are prints. So this is like my living room, but still working on my comic room too. And I've got some things I'm working on it still, but like, yeah, time. Give me time. It's a slow process.
Shout out to the homie Kyle. We definitely need to hook up one of these days, Kyle, so I can know what the hell you look like. I don't even know what you look like, brother. But we definitely need to get down. I wanted to get down at that garage con, but my wallet did not agree with me. I've been a little bored these days.
My sister told me that you can actually find those prints at fucking Walmart.
Really? I heard Walmart's getting out of the comic book game. I think that's what Comic Vet said. That's how he got all those pallets, because they were getting out of the game.
Maybe, but these are like poster size. So, yeah. It wasn't. These were.
My bad.
These were a Christmas gift, like, because basically they got them framed in really nice frames, and I have them on the wall, and so. But I'm pretty sure my sister told me, like, if there are any other covers that you want, she's like, I think Walmart makes those prints, and I'm like, okay, damn.
Oh, I asked if they were actually books because I bought some frames that you can actually put your books in.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And so I had some great covers that I really wanted, some sketch covers. Obviously, that one's from Bobby De La Ghetto with my character, a pimp named Slaughter, on the cover. I love that one. The twig is from my comic book dad, Lorenzo, Indie Comics and Reviews. Really proud of that one. And then the Billy the Kid is from Barry McLean Jr., the artist on Billy the Kid. And I missed that book. We got an issue 6 Kickstarter.
Oh shit! I'm out of here.
We didn't get anything else on it. We got the homie Evil Mike in the house as well. What's up with you, my man? You got any books to show off for us? You got anything going on with you?
No books.
You show some games that you've been trying to beat.
I don't know about showing them.
Oh,
They're on like a TV, but no.
So Mike has found a used video game store, like a vintage video game store next to his place, and he's been going on these little epic odysseys of beating games that he didn't get to beat when he was a kid.
On what console?
All kinds.
Okay, well, name something. Damn.
He's got one of those players where you can play like a SNES, a Genesis, and regular Nintendo.
Oh,
like,
you got an emulator?
Not an emulator. This is
yes, and I have like everything. I have a NES, a Super Nintendo, a Genesis, but I also have like HD versions. I have like a retro SNES. I have a retro Genesis, but it's the same thing. It just allows HD capability. But I actually have like full systems. I have a Wii, a PS2. I have 3 different NESs. I have 2 different Genesis and the HD Genesis. I have a Switch, a regular Switch. Crap, I got a lot. A DS,
I need you
a Game Boy
to
Color.
get a PS5 or an Xbox so we can play some Marvel Rivals. I need to put together a team because I'm tired of playing with these randoms. You've been playing Marvel Rivals?
Yes, I have. But on my brother's account.
On what
PS4.
They have it on PS4?
Yeah, but it's janky as hell. And don't ask me. I can tell you backstage.
I didn't know you could play it on PS4, actually.
Technically, you can't. But
What kind of shit do y'all got going on out there? Shout out to Flickson Comics in the house. What up, JoJo? Thank you so much for coming through.
Hey,
that is a channel that I recently discovered and
you don't know JoJo? She's cool as hell.
Yeah. Everybody knows her, but I didn't know. Like, how did I know? How am I missing on this one?
Dude,
yeah, I definitely.
She knows UFC fighting like no other, and
I know.
She
works
she's
for
like
the NFL. She works for UFC.
She knows.
And
things.
I have begun my UFC research for this weekend because I love to gamble on UFC.
In real life, she's a photographer, I think, and she does like on a real level. Yeah, she's a real photographer.
Yeah, very cool. And I love the UFC stuff. And I'm curious, who do you got this weekend? Adesanya or Imavov? I think I'm going to go with Adesanya.
Yeah,
but I want to watch. I want to watch some fights before I make my final decision. Early morning fights in Saudi Arabia this Saturday, but looking forward to that. Shout out to the homie JoJo. We also got Steven Spock in the house. What up, Steven Spock? Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. We got Under the Cowl of MS. I'm assuming that's Mississippi. That's a new. What's up? Oh, thank you for coming
through. They know what I'm talking about. And yeah, PlayStation's kind of easy to jailbreak.
Can get any game burned if you know the right people. Okay, I'm learning stuff today. I did not know that. We also got Rad Art and Comics in the house. What up, Aaron? Thank you so much for coming through.
Hi, Sonia.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm going to end up. But I want to look at Imavov. I just want to get another look at him, make sure I understand what he does because I can't quite remember his fights.
Hold on, Marcus. She's also a massive horror enthusiast and has an excellent collection of comics.
She does. Yeah. Okay, so back on JoJo. Since we're on JoJo, fair warning. She did take a break, so there was I want to say it was like a good year where she was transitioning from jobs, and she was absent for a good while. But I've actually known her longer than I've known you. She was like she was like the second or third. She actually led me to Freaky Louie and Roscoe and
I've known JoJo for a while. Before I knew Mike.
I met JoJo.
Marcus.
Evil Eye. I just met on your channel. I found your channel back in 2021 and started coming through and hanging out. I think we both hung out with Dank's channel too, I think maybe.
Yeah, I think so. That might have been how I met JoJo. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember because something led me to JoJo. I didn't find her on her own, but I remember people talking about her before.
Yeah.
I met her. I kind of already knew her.
She's cool as hell.
By the time I found her channel. Yeah, she's so cool.
We got He Who Remains in the house, one of the JP's budget collecting homies. Every Monday night we do cash or trash, and we have a good time doing it. So definitely check that out. I got a Monday nights with JP, Tuesday night we're here with FOC and Chill, and then Wednesday night with my comic book dad, Lorenzo. So check me out all 3 of those nights. I'm here, ready to rock and roll. What were you going to say, lady?
Yeah, she's still on the Broadwars.
Yeah, I still do Rob's channel sometimes on Fridays, though I can't make it because I'm just like over life and I'm like, I can't say words. But yeah, I try to make it when I'm, when I'm with it and hip.
2016. All right, so you're an OG in this.
Yeah,
game.
she's an OG. I want to say I came in like 2018, 2019. I was here before COVID. So I want to say 20, it could be even as close as 2017. Honestly, I think it's 2018. I can look this up.
My first video is like 2014 or something like that, but I didn't officially start till COVID. Like, I mean, I'd done like a couple videos, but like one was like a Hot Wheel thing and like something else, but like, nah, it was on a horrible camera. I mean, we're talking about cameras at that time, and that was bad.
But I've had a YouTube account for the longest time. Huh?
I've had a YouTube account since they started.
Yeah, like since like 08, 06, 07. It's
2005 for me.
yeah, so I've had a YouTube account a very long time, but now the whole channel thing and the whole conception of me like me do a channel, that didn't come around until like I randomly tripped upon Comic Hall, and I was like, oh shit.
I was on YouTube, and it might be similar to other people, but I use YouTube a lot for walkthroughs on video games. So as soon as I was already using like video format, like walkthroughs for video games, like game facts and written walkthroughs. As soon as YouTube got started, that's kind of like what I was using YouTube in the pre-days, because there was like instantly a lot of like video walkthroughs and stuff. But after that, it was more like kind of like Watch Mojo stuff. For a while it was like top 10 list and like recommendations.
Okay.
Like early YouTube.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say March of 2021 was the start of me. And what made me start my YouTube channel actually was trying to win a giveaway from Comic Tom. I was like, he said, if you share your mystery mail call, he's like, show a video and you might win something. So I was like, all right, I'll do a little stupid video.
I still watch him.
I did my little stupid video and I watched it and I was like, holy shit, this video sucks. Why would anybody ever watch that? And I just got this idea that maybe I could make it not suck. I never quite figured that out, but that's how this whole thing started. So coming up on 4 years on YouTube and coming up on 2 years of this show, actually. FOC and Chill is coming up on 2 years of existence. So what are we on? Episode 94 now? Almost to 100 episodes, which is crazy.
Good number, 94.
Thank you so much for making it for 94. Maybe we'll do something for episode 100. Probably not, but maybe we will. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. FOC that day.
Yeah, I suck at the giveaways. I did a giveaway in November and I just now finally mailed them out this last week. So I'm terrible at getting these things out.
I can say that when I got on YouTube, I considered it an experiment. I still do. So, I mean,
it is
like, I find it kind of odd that people think they like just because they're good at something and or they have this view of how they're supposed to be on YouTube. Like it has to be set like right away. I feel like with you, Circum, yours has been an exploration because you're not really set on where you want it to go. I mean, I can remember, I still go back to your first, the first year that you're on YouTube, and that's the Marcus that I want. It's not that
nobody wants those hours. Those videos take forever to edit.
I know the reasons, but it's not that I hate the Marcus that we have, but I mean. That's just going to be your YouTube life. You're going to have, because I can go back to the people that love when I did New Comic Book Day pickup, and that's all I did was like, I grabbed this because of this, and that
People
you know
change.
they like hearing people's opinions, but I mean, whether or not I wanted to continue to know, and it's probably the same. I mean, it's the hours you put in at the time, what you're getting back from it. I mean, if you're not
Like,
getting back what you expect to put in, and my whole thing was I just wanted to talk to people, so I gained that all over.
yeah, and that's been the greatest benefit. Like even my Heroes Con video, I got, I think what 700 views on that. But when you consider the amount of time I put into that video, I'd really like to get more than that because it took me hours to build that video. And the same thing with those early videos where I did highlighting the new books on my top 10 books for the new comic book day. I really wanted to highlight the authors and the writers and the artists. And I really wanted to try and make them celebrities kind of. And so that was my whole goal. And it was worth it to do those videos because I learned so much in terms of editing and building videos. And I know so much more than I ever did. So it was 1,000% worth it. But once I figured it all out, it stopped being worth it because I was spending hours and getting like 50 views. And it's like, what am I doing here?
Well, I mean, there are people like that kind of wander into YouTube and then they do a channel thing and they end up becoming insanely proficient at making videos and making good content. Perry.
Yeah.
Perry, the goofiest motherfucker that I know.
Don't be nice to Perry.
Perry, dude, you're all right, but you are a goofy I mean,
I like it when people are nice to Perry, even though I'm wearing his gear.
He has succeeded. I mean, he is really doing great, and it's because his editing skills and his aptitude for these programs are awesome. Me, I didn't come to YouTube to learn shit about editing. I came here to talk to people, and so I pay very little heed to sort of the bells and whistles.
And that's a huge part of like Mike talked about it, but like who I was and what I was about in the beginning was much different than who I am and what I'm about now. In the beginning, I was about learning. I was about watching haul videos because I wanted to see what people were, because I wanted to figure out what I liked. And so I was interested in a lot of things. I watched a lot of Comic Tom back then, because I was just trying to learn. I was just trying to figure out the lay of the land. Whereas now I don't really watch. I watch Comic Tom's top 10 videos to get ready for JP's show, but I don't really watch haul videos, unboxing videos anymore. Sorry guys, but I don't really watch, and this is terrible, but I don't really watch a lot of recorded content anymore. Most of the YouTube that I watch now is this live shows, because for me, what it has become about, and not everybody likes this, especially about this show, but for me, I love the comics and I enjoy reading my comics and I collect a ton of comics every single week. But more than anything, I just love this community. I love all the friends that I've made all over the fucking world, going to Heroes Con in 2022 and last year and just seeing all the homies and hanging out, getting drunk as fuck with Pocan Joe and annoying the fuck out of him. Like, I love that shit. And it's really become the best part of comic book YouTube for me. So I know a lot of people are like, show books and let's talk about the books and all that. And I get it. But for me, it's about you guys, man. It's about who's going to click that link every week and come on here and shoot the shit with me. And that's the thing I love more than anything else now. And that's just a fact. And that's why this show, regardless of the people who bitch about it, this show will always be about this community.
It's about connections.
Yeah.
More than the actual books themselves, it should be the relationships that we develop between one another. Because at the end of the day, that's all we got. You can't take your fucking comics with you, man.
I mean, to worry about the individual one is kind of that ridiculous thing, right? Because it's just not going to work. I mean, you have to worry about what you want and what you're going to put in for that one, I mean, so like I myself am not watching a lot of recorded content, but there's a caveat. It depends on what the recorded content is. If it has a good gimmick, if it has a good, story, then I will watch it, but I mean, I can say there's a lot of content and there's a lot of people throwing stuff at the walls that's just not calling to me, but it's not to say that, I mean, I don't think they should keep not trying kind of thing. With the Hangout thing, I think it's a give or take. It just depends on conversation at hand, who's having the
Yeah,
conversation,
sometimes it's the panel. Sometimes it
yeah,
just comes
because
down to who's on at the time. Certain
yeah,
Yeah,
because
guys,
because I because I do love this community, but there's certain people that if I see them too much, I can get burned out on them. I mean,
not
hey,
naming no names.
no, I'm not gonna name no names, but I mean, and I don't like to get burned out on my friends, so I like to move around. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, I do have some issues myself. Where like, I mean, me myself, I'm not a social bug like in person. So I mean, like, I like normally if I had the option and like all of y'all were like right here, it would be how it was at Heroes Con, Marcus. I mean, I stay for like a couple seconds and then I'm off to the next person. I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, it's kind of like that. So I mean, YouTube is more like it allows me to stay in one place and talk to multiple. But it's a little different, I'd say.
Yes, and we were all contestants on the great show
I
it
love
was
that
Treehouse.
very
show.
fun. I think
And
Phil realized how much work it is because it is a
yeah,
lot of work. But
Yeah,
we all really enjoyed it.
it was such a great show. But I get it, Phil. It was so obvious that you put so much effort
You did a great
into that
job.
show. You did, and it showed. Like you killed.
Yes.
The production level on your show was great. But
Yeah.
I get getting burnt out on it, not getting quite the level of reaction to it, given the amount of effort that you're putting into it.
I
And
loved
like
it.
I did too. And your giveaways were just insane.
And you're so funny, dude.
Yes. And I really enjoyed him back in the day on Spine Ticks. He had that Ed McMahon role that he
Oh,
was
shit.
so good at. I miss the old Spine Ticks days, man. Those were fun before that all fell apart. But good times, man. Good times for sure. And
I do.
JoJo says, same. I like the authenticity of the lives. I barely watch pre-recorded anymore. I still want to get back to editing reviews, though, just because I like the challenge. They're harder for me because I ramble too much. And I'm with you on that. I've been thinking literally just about every day. I've been thinking about doing review videos again and doing highly edited review videos. Like I want to do a really highly edited review video for The Deviant, which is absolutely my favorite book going right now. And the final book in that series is actually on FOC this week. And if you haven't read The Deviant and you're a Tynan fan at all, I cannot recommend that book enough. It feels like a movie from the very first issue of that book. And the emotions that this book is invoking, the way in which it's portraying the struggle of a homosexual man kind of understanding his sexuality and how he came to understand it is extremely fascinating to me. And I'm really enjoying it on top of the murder mystery, the kind of horror murder mystery that is going with it. It's so good. And I really, really want to put together a review of that. That's kind of like a History Channel review where you have a narrator kind of talking about and telling the story and then bringing in different people to make comments about the story and how they reacted and how they feel about it. I really, really want to build that and not just that, but just for all kinds of books that I really love. Because I read a ton of books and honestly, I don't love very many of them at all. I mean, they're okay, but I love very few of the books that I read. Like I just got done reading Scarlet Witch volumes Run Towards That Light, and I haven't been doing that as much. And I talk about this with Perry too, is like in the beginning, if you look at my video, I'm throwing stuff at the wall, I'm trying things, I'm trying new ideas for videos, and I just stopped doing that. And I really got to get back to just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if I can make something work. And I've been saying this for months now, but I've really been trying to get back to just doing that again. And hopefully I will soon. I really hope I can at least do this Deviant video because in my head, it could be really good, at least in my mind. So we'll see. So I'm 1,000% with you on that, Flix.
You just have to stick to it. And I can say another thing is reach out to, well, first off, do a census and find out who's actually read the book, and then reach out to those people to make sure you get feedback on it.
Yeah, I don't like bothering people, but you know, in this and that's one of the
No,
cool
but that
things.
it's important because people like me, I rarely will jump at stuff. You have to invite me, like, and yes, that's weird, but like, I mean, that's kind of how it works with certain people. Me, I like even a project that might sound interesting to me, it still needs to be something that's invited.
Have you read The Deviant?
I've read the first three, and I need to keep up.
You should, because I think that you would love it too.
Who
I
writes
enjoyed
I
the
don't,
first three. Tinian,
I don't know
James
that
Tinian.
everybody would love it, but I think that you would love it. I
No,
think
I
it's
enjoyed the first, because roughly it's just a, holiday, like, I'd say serial killer, like, slasher book, and it's a murder mystery. You're trying to figure out who the killer is. Um, and it's told in, like, an analytical fashion. It's told flashbacks and present day. No, I enjoyed the first three issues, and I enjoyed Tinian.
well,
I,
let me know. I know I've talked to a number of people, Cliff, about it, and I think I might be able to get Perry in it. So
I
if
mean,
I
that's
can
my
do that,
suggestion.
get
All
some.
you have to do is just send an Instagram direct message to these people you know read it and be like, "Hey, give me a 30-second video or a minute video of feedback." They'll do it
Yeah.
once you. I mean, if you sent me a video
Actually,
asking that, I would do it.
my idea is going to take more than that, actually, and my idea is going to be a little more difficult than a 30-second video, actually.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's just the example, but you know.
And shout out to the homie under the cow. The link is in the chat. I just subbed up to them. They're at 400 or they're at 193 subs. Let's see if we can't get them to 200 tonight, guys. Link is in the chat. Just plug in and get on over there. Let's do it. And we got it hasn't crashed horrible yet. What are we talking about? Oh, what are you guys' thoughts on the economy? I think the comic book market is going to crash. Let's be honest, this is all expensive paper and a luxury. Most luxury expenses are the first to get cut. And yes, I think when I look at, because I've been looking at, I have 5,000 comics now, and I'm like, man, that's too many. And I really need to start offloading some. But when I look at offloading them, it's like these books aren't worth anything at all. Yeah, I know JP drove over to Kansas City this weekend and offloaded some books, and he actually ended up getting 50 cents a book, which is amazing, really. Because if you go to, he went to a local comic shop down here, Nerdstalgia, and 50 cents a book doesn't sound like much, but it's really a lot compared to what a place like Half Price Books is going to offer you. Maybe I think I actually did a video on it, guys. If you want to see it, and I think
I've actually done the half price thing. You get like
yeah.
about 15 cents.
So my calculation, it was like 23 cents a book or 20, and then the other one was 25 cents a book at like, I think Half Price Books was like around 25, 26 cents a book. And then vintage stock was like 18 to 20 cents a book. So to get 50 cents a book was pretty awesome. So I might actually bring some books down to this shop myself and see if I can offload some, because I got a bunch of books that I don't need. I have a bunch of X-Men books that I just need to offload. So, and 5,000, like I have so many books that I have 5 short boxes that don't even fit in my closet anymore. And I'm like, all right, man, it's time to cut down. And so, yeah, I agree. I think that especially if we get into these trade wars, I think we got hard economic times ahead. And as you say, he remains, expensive paper is going to be one of those things that we have to cut. Now, I am doing everything I can not to do that because I love my LCS. And if you want to see local comic shops, you got to support them. And so I'm going to do everything I can to stay in this game, even through it all. But yeah, I think that hard times might be ahead. Hopefully, and you see what happened with Diamond, and they may not be. I know they're in the chapter 11, which means they're trying to come back. But I'm seeing signs that maybe they won't be able to come back. I saw Beyond Wednesdays talking about it tonight, even. So yeah, I don't know.
Wait. Go back, because that's a multiple point question. First off, what are you guys' thoughts on the economy? Well, right now we know it sucks. It sucks, okay? I think the comic market is going to crash. Not right now. Collectibles are in high form and fashion. Not necessarily comics, but um, the word crash is below bottom. So no. Now the paper thing, that's been coming for a long time, and not just comics. That's I mean, the world's pushing for that, the green, button to be pushed. So I mean, eventually, yes, that's going to be a thing where one day comics will be out of paper print, but hopefully we'll come up with some plastic, synthetic or something to keep physical comics going. But if not, I mean, digital comics are already a thing now. The downside, and this just isn't comic related. It's going to be hard to get physical everything from here on out. I mean, we're talking about games, movies, vinyl, music. That's kind of becoming the new norm. So, I mean, eventually, just due to us changing into a more digital format, a bunch of these stores are going to be either just selling what they have, or, that's kind of it. So I kind of see that coming eventually. Now, whether it's going to be like this year or the next year, or no. But we're kind of already getting there. I mean, you're talking about, from the 80s to 90s, how many comic shops, toy shops, music shops, video shops were in your world compared to what they are now?
Yeah, so I want to kind of offer my perspective here. It's like, the economy is great. It's just not good for us. There are record profits in businesses. I mean, the upper echelon they're getting a lot of money. Their wealth has increased tons. It's just not getting none of it's going to the middle class. But then I would also say that if we look back to when comics first became really popular, was like during World War II. People went to that during times of stress or upheaval. And I'm wondering if I think comics are sustainable. I don't think they're going anywhere as long as we have so many crazy things going on, because I think that they're so when times get crazy like this, it's more important than ever to have art. And comics are art. So personally, could comics be a threat and all that shit? Yeah, I think it's always going to be small. It's always going to be niche, and it's always going to be tough, but it's always going to be there. But that's just me.
I mean, technically speaking, I don't think there's been a media that's existed that has been created that has just disappeared. I mean, every in the main sense of it, but every media that you can think of, it still exists in one form or fashion to this day. It might not be, like you said, super popular, but I mean, comics kind of haven't been.
Yeah.
What up, Jag?
So, like what Phil was saying, yeah, if you're fortunate enough to invest in stocks or things like that, my retirement is going out the door. That's great. But how many people in America, what's the percentage of actual Americans that have a vested interest or any equity in the stock market besides, say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being real. In America, the peanut butter has not been spread evenly across the bread, and now there's a big chunk of peanut butter somewhere, and then it's the rest is scrapings, and because of that, billionaires usually don't give zero fucks about comics, but people who do are the everyday people. The people that have to work maybe crappy jobs or feel outcast or are just striving to make it through the day. Those are the people that rely on comics because it gives them hope. It gives them something. It gives them heroes to identify with. And maybe it helps them bring out their better characteristics and helps them find their better angels. And so, like, while it's going to be harder for people to get these luxuries, entertainment, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that during times of upheaval and political unrest, that media and entertainment consumption tends to go up.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I think the other thing that two things that I would say is one is I think people are beginning to appreciate the value of physical media, and that newfound appreciation could be something that saves comic books and physical comic books, because if you have a digital comic online, they can change that comic in any time and make it something other than it was. And the same thing with a movie. They can change, if you don't have a physical copy of the movie, they can change it and make it something other than what it originally was, or they can take it away entirely. Like there's some movies that people want to watch that they can't watch because you can't buy it on any physical media and it's not on any streaming platform. So the only way for you to get it is to go get an old copy of it. And some of these numbers are astronomical. So I think that, and the other thing I would say is actually, I think it was PlayStation who was selling licenses to movies. Like, so people were buying a movie digitally on this platform, and they owned that movie, right? They bought the movie and owned it. But then Sony lost the license to that movie, and therefore you don't actually
lose
own
the license.
That. Yeah. So you thought you bought it to own.
That's how all those streaming sites
And
work. Like Apple Music, and Google Music back in the day. Like when Google Music disappeared, I had hundreds of dollars of music and Google Music, and it just, when it switched over to YouTube Music, none of that stuff carried over and it just disappeared. I mean, they didn't refund me my money or nothing. I mean, it's the same thing when we're talking about digital. I mean, technically, that's not going to last. I mean, the progression of everything. I mean, and you talk about movies. I mean, one format to the next. The movies still exist, but we've went through, beta, VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, all the way to where we are now, and even this streaming digital. I mean, that's going to last. I mean, most like hot wired streaming, servers last for like, I think it's 10 to 12 years, and then they have to be redone, kind of thing. So
my people.
What up? What up, little bro?
We're talking the value of physical media.
That's why I'm here. Y'all needed somebody who's a physical media collector.
Yeah, I am too. Well, and I was going to say before, I wanted to retort and say that, have you guys noticed that the price of physical media is going through the roof? Have you seen how much vinyl's going for?
Yeah, I've definitely
video games, even DVDs now. So they're
a 4K collector. It's like $40-$50 for a new release.
Yeah, the resurgence for desire for physical media is. But anyways, I
got some desires and they will be fulfilled.
All right. All right.
I'm talking about.
So that is something that could definitely save comic books, and if they do die down and they become kind of more collector's items as a result. So I don't think that physical comic books will ever completely go away, regardless.
I don't think they will.
I don't think so either, because we might do away with paper, but I mean, we have other plastics. We got vinyls. We got smart people in the world. They can come up with something.
Yeah, that's why I switched. That was one thing that made me want to switch over to the steelbook collecting, because I bought one last July on vacation. I got Starship Troopers to show the kids for educational purposes, and then I was in the mood to watch Kick-Ass. I'm like, I haven't upgraded my Kick-Ass movie, so I looked on for a steelbook, and I saw it was like $156 for the cheapest sealed one that I could find. I'm like, wait a minute, these things appreciate in value. So I'm a steelbook collector now.
Yeah, and they absolutely do. And I let my wife sell all of my DVDs, and I really wish I wouldn't have let her do that.
It's almost not even worth it because you don't get
them.
nothing for DVDs.
Yeah,
I feel that way about my GameCube collection. I had
GameCube's always money, girl. You lost out. GameCube's.
I know because I sold that collection for $500. Trust me, I got mine. But still,
no. But even today, I mean, shit. 10 years ago, GameCube's were worth money, but now they're. I mean, you talk about all.
They're in the hundreds now. I've seen some of them.
That's what I'm talking about. It's because they're one of the harder systems to keep the actual disc and get working quality.
I've seen that the average N64 and a controller looking at $250. I'm like, all right, now we're talking. And I got 6 of those.
$2.50.
No, $250 for just
Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm looking on eBay right now.
My wife.
My wife.
The original.
They can range for like 100 to like 250. But
what up, Rod?
Get a complete setup with like controllers that aren't busted and stuff. And if you see cheaper ones, look at the controller. See if it's an OG controller. A lot of those joysticks are blown out.
$26.95.
You ain't finding one for $6.95 that works. I promise.
Tight stick.
Ooh.
No, I don't even know what that is.
That means
tight stick.
I'm 45. I don't know what that is.
It means that stick turns right back to position after you give it a flick.
Now, N64s were like a notorious, like not like it happened. They're old now, like, but a lot of the joysticks will just be leaned over where when you're trying to like turn and stuff, you have to like push it, then you have to like almost lift it a little bit.
Yeah,
because those joysticks can wear out over time. I'm assuming all those consoles can.
Yeah,
dude, I need to get a new PlayStation 5 controller. Mine's wearing out already, so that definitely happened.
250 is about the for a good working like
for the full setup for like the like refurbished clean console controllers, like if you're buying it new, like
what up, chef?
If you go on some bigger sites like BK Oldies and GameStop, stuff like that, it'd be like 300, 350, something like that.
Where it'll be cleaned up and it'll be insured and you're getting like
refurbished.
I'm not talking about getting like a yard sale one, you know what I mean? That's about getting like a proper. I feel comfortable buying this.
Are you talking about a complete system or just a controller?
No, a complete system.
The system.
Yeah.
Like I own, like if you own nothing and you want to make a purchase and be able to one purchase and I can play, cords, controllers.
That's more like 250. I could see that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And GameCube's like up there too if you do the same thing. And those GameCubes is so unique. They're really
a lot of them made, but like the games, there wasn't very many made. So
same thing with Dreamcast. That's madly popular. And
I had a Dreamcast. I was one of the few people that had a Dreamcast back in the day, and those controllers were dope. I'm surprised.
No second.
I'm surprised that the technology that the Dreamcast used with the video and the controller didn't translate.
The Tamagotchis, they did. It still exists today, but over in Japan, where they made that stuff.
Oh yeah, they don't do it here.
They still
they don't do it here.
Yeah, we still have Tamagotchis over here. I mean, they still come out with like kind of a rinky-dink version, but I mean, no, it's a big thing over there. It's like Pokemon.
Yeah, they're going like a hundo, basically.
I couldn't agree more with He Who Remains. It sucks. You go buy you could even go buy the physical copy of the game, and you still got to be on the internet, and you still got to download a 10 gig, file before you can even play the game. That's what makes the old games like that, the 64, so valuable, is because you don't need the internet to play with your friends. You just plug it up. You got 4 controller ports there, and you can just go and have a good time without all the BS of jumping online. Yeah. Does that translate to comic books though?
What?
Tamagotchi?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
No, I mean so we're talking about the value of physical media.
Yeah.
Does it translate to comic books going into the future? I think it does, but I don't think it does as much. But I don't know.
Physical comics versus digital comics,
because you have the same, especially you have the same problem
first
with
we'd have to get like
movies.
We'd need a more digital like footprint marketplace for these, and I don't I mean, there are small like digital marketplaces, but it's not like it's not like the real world yet where you can.
So you're saying, okay, like I think I would agree with you in saying that like comics are not where they need to be in terms of digital accessibility yet, but they still need to keep making them. Like, and I'll keep buying them. Like, so
I think that's a hard thing to go from paper to digital. I don't think that necessarily works for every single thing as well as other things.
Newer people, they like that for them. That younger people are into that digital, and I get it if you don't want to, take up a lot of space. But then you got.
Are they like? Do you think the majority of younger people are reading Japanese cartoon comics? What's that one? They're reading the mangas.
Mm-hmm.
So are they reading the mangas digitally, or are they going and picking up physical? That'd be the true measure. Like that, they're the people we're talking about.
Doing both.
They're not reading this. They're reading other stuff. How do they read
actually,
it?
My brother reads digitally.
Yeah,
my oldest reads paper.
My brother reads manga paper.
Mm-hmm.
All my manga friends read digital. Like, and I want to say at least.
We're not talking about your friends unless your friends are children. We're talking about children.
No, like heavy manga readers. Like one, God, you talk about his manga, like knowledge. I think equals some of our comic knowledge. It's ridiculous.
I see John Snout's comment. What sparked this? Is Marvel announcing something of going away from paper?
No, Sicko said, "Am I wrong? There's only 9 books on FOC for."
It was a question about the
for
economy.
FOC or for new release this week.
For FOC.
Yeah, new release this week is super tiny compared to most weeks. It's a 5th week. I didn't know if that's
week.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, the question,
there's more than 9.
The question came from an economy bit. Somebody had asked, like, how did we feel about the economy? Did we feel like comics was going to be around? And because, it's a paper format kind of thing. That's what the conversation.
I like my comic. I think it was rumored Stan Lee said it. I don't know if he really said it, but I like my comics like I like my titties. They feel so much better in my hand. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's with everything, man. I mean, it's like a digital game versus a real game. I don't think there's going to be a person out there that's like, oh, I love my digital game versus the real. I don't think that exists.
I don't know the difference with the video games with movies, the difference is night and day. If you rent, buy, download, stream a 4K movie, it's not in 4K because you go get a disc and you put a disc in a player and you play it. It's wildly different.
So much.
Well, the examples.
You don't get I think you don't get the HDR, which is that high dynamic range where the colors are supposed to be more vibrant and the blacks are like blacker, which gives you that wild contrast. And then the Auto Motion Plus feature is different as well on a disc versus streaming. I noticed that as well. Even if I put in a DVD and just mess with the smart TV settings, turn the Auto Motion Plus up, it can make the Adventures of Lois and Clark from the 90s look at least Blu-ray quality alone.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that's a quality that physical media in terms of movies has that's not necessarily true for comic books. Maybe I'm wrong on that, though. I don't think so.
I think the only difference to because there is a difference to games currently for games to physical to digital movies, with comics, I'd say the only caveat is maybe the size, depending on what you're reading on, because there's different options of, you could be reading on an iPad and it's wider. It could be, your phone and it's smaller. So I think that depends on some stuff. But another thing is there's certain books out there that are formatted different. I do like reading comics digital. I don't have the hang-up that a lot of people have. I'm not saying there needs to be or, that there's anything wrong with that. But there has been certain books, and I know Mark has read this book. What was the Sideways book?
I know you're talking about that indie book that was all sideways. And
G.H. Williams or something like that.
Yeah, it had that white cover with a weird red relic looking thing on it.
Echoland?
Something like, I don't know.
Echoland. Yeah, it was Echoland. That's what it was.
It didn't like, I love that book. I have like a hardback version. I have all the floppies. It looks beautiful the way it's supposed to be, like sideways and
We're
stuff.
holding it though, right?
Yes, but like digitally, it didn't translate the same. It's so awkward reading it digitally because you're supposed to be scrolling down and it no. So I mean that there still is some.
You seen that feature that DC Universe Infinite added to their reading app? Because like you're talking about, like if you're reading comics on a tablet, like a full size tablet, the experience is pretty decent. You know, you can sit there, like hold something that's relatively the same size as a comic, look at images that are the same size, so you don't really have to do too much zooming in, and then you get to when you want to, and you find that that's actually kind of fun, and that's when you see the vibrancy of a digital page that was made on digital for the most part and then transferred to paper, but now you're seeing it in its full vibrance. So there's some really cool features, but DC just started doing this thing on their app called DC Go where they're intentionally formatted for a phone versus a tablet. And you can like they're even reformatting like iconic stories like All-Star Superman. So that's formatted just for an endless vertical read. So you don't have to do the zooming in and you get the page splashes and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
that's
it's,
nice.
it's pretty unique. But I have this that artist that did that Godzilla piece for the Comics Curing Cancer art book. I was talking to him one day while he was working on, not for DC Go, but well before this, he was working on a vertical comic for some web page. So that's been done already in other places, but it's a cool feature. So if you're on the go and you don't want to take extra stuff, you have tailored for just having your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was kind of the whole concept of digitizing printed media in the first place, is to maximize, minimize space. Sorry, maximize output with a minimal amount of physical.
Currently, I like the option. I like, the option that we still have physical format comics and we have digital format comics, and to each his own. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the person that wants to read digital, or
Something out there for everybody.
Yeah, because at that point, you can't be like, oh, well, you're just buying that for the key, or you're just, no, they're reading it because they're reading it or looking at it,
Yeah.
One good solar flare in this conversation is pointless.
That's what I was just thinking. And I was like, that would make our physical comics worth a lot more, right? If we lose power, it's like the only media you're getting is those books now.
Yeah, I just went through that month without power, and we were sitting here reading and just fine. And then when we got power back, we didn't have internet for another month. We were just watching physical media, and we weren't phased. The air conditioner was the biggest discomfort.
Yeah.
For Doc Von Hoot, I was like, what the fuck? Nitrate? What do you mean it has less nitrate? That's not what this is.
Bit rate.
It's lower bit rate.
Yeah. So yeah, that solar flare, that EPMD that gets dropped, that could change everything. Because we always assume because it's always been this way, it will always be this way, and that's just not necessarily
the surface of the earth says otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, come for our power grid first.
Should have happened in like the early 1900s, and
power grid, pole shift, solar flares, like there's just a bunch of stuff.
You go for the power grid and you cause immediate logistical disruption.
Or you can have one bad guy from Die Hard 4 do a fire sale, and we're done. We're done.
That'll work.
One Timothy Oliphant away from digital being useless.
Or fossil fuels get real low, and energy is not as affordable as it once was. All these things can change everything.
Thank God for windmills.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Causing cancer. Before you get out of here, Caroline, we're gonna shut this down. Before you get out of here,
move my hand like this, and that's gonna generate all of the fucking energy Europe needs.
There you go.
Anything you want to promote, lady, before you get out of here? Let me find your channel.
What?
What's that? Anything you want to promote before you get out of here?
Oh, I want to promote equality. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you liberal!
Love you so much. You can promote Friday mornings on the Legion Hangout, where you can find her kicking it old school with everybody.
spread
She comes in,
retard propaganda.
monetizes the stream like a boss, and we have a good time doing it.
Get him. I'm the reason why he gets demonetized, and I'm fucking
Every
proud
Friday.
of it.
Yeah, I'm proud of it too.
You guys be safe.
Well, link is in the chat for Caroline. Check her out. Thank you so much for jumping on, lady. I appreciate you. Legion, anything you want to promote before we
Are you kicking us out?
Yeah, we are. We're well over an hour.
Streams, hangouts. Come hang out.
Having a good conversation. He's trying to shut it down.
Yeah, live stream on Tuesday.
Tuesday. I've got the At Weeks In every Sunday night at 8:30. The big Legion Loot giveaway is this Sunday. The massive Aquaman giveaway with the first appearance of Ocean Master in there. All kinds of other cool stuff. Not sure what we'll be talking about. Reviewing books and shows and movies every Sunday night at 8:30.
Dexter.
Thank you as always for jumping on, Marky Mark. I appreciate you so much. Mikey baby, what's going on with you, my man?
Book clubs. This weekend we got the finale to Dragons of Winter Night. You know, D&D. So if you're a D&D fan or you don't know about it, come let's do a book. No, but that's what we're doing this weekend. Next weekend is Stephen King. It's rotating.
Nice.
Check out the homie Evil's Comics, one of the old school folks in this community. And someone mentioned it before, and I wanted to go back. I think it was Sicko. Like, if you have a YouTube channel about comic books, or if you're thinking about starting one, you're doing the Lord's work by promoting this culture, promoting this medium, keeping this thing alive. It's such an important thing that we're doing. Even if you're getting a few views, you're still out here pushing this medium and you're doing the Lord's work. So I appreciate all of you doing that. And I wanted to share this clip before we get out of here where Comic Tom made a great point about that in the great battle of Comic Tom versus Sticky Goose. So we're going to end with that. Thank you so much to everybody that came through in the chat that kept it lit. Thank you to everybody watching on the replay. I appreciate y'all so much. That's all I got for this week. Until next week. Peace.
My fear is that when people are negative or have maybe a bit more negative view on what they have to do to be able to be visible in the community, it may turn other people off to just putting themselves out there. Anybody can make video content. You don't have to be entertaining. You don't have to make thumbnails. And you could just post your books on Insta. You can just take a video camera out. You can just go live and just start grading your books. The thing is, you don't need to do it with an audience of 210 people. Screw that. It's just about participating in the community. That's one of the best parts of comics is you can befriend people who also have a love for this medium, and they can become some of your best friends because that's what the relationship is about. And it doesn't matter what religion they are, what politics how they lean. I have all kinds of friends that outside of comics, I may never would have connected with. And I think there's a lot of people who can share that same sentiments. I don't want to make it seem like if you can't make a video, you can't edit a video, then you shouldn't do it. And ridiculing people for doing that. Just participate, post, talk about comics. This medium will die if we do not post about comic books. That's how that goes. We got to post it. The publishers aren't doing it. The LCS owners are way too busy, and there's less comics coming out every single month. So let's just all help with the marketing of this by talking and participating in the community now that we have social media and we can all connect.
Haters gonna hate.